Alright guys, so yesterday when I was watering, I went to go turn my outdoor water faucet off. So I'm tightening it in, all of a sudden I feel something, a lot of resistance, but then it keeps turning and turning and turning and turning. Fortunately I had the water off by this time, but I cannot unscrew, so obviously I have a problem. I know this is a gardening channel, but if you're a gardener, you're most likely going to run into some type of issue with your outdoor faucet. Hang tight and let's see what's going on. So this is an outdoor frost-proof anti-siphon faucet. So the way you open these things up is you loosen this nut right here, which I've already done, so it's only hand tight. You want your water to be off or closed. In my case, water's not going to come out. So as you can see, this stem has broken off from the valve or bonnet inside of the body. And in my case, it is still inside because it was in the closed position. I've got to figure out what I'm going to do, if I can just potentially get that valve out and then just replace this piece, or if I'm going to have to go inside the house, find where this connects and pull this whole assembly out. So before I go any further, I'm going to make sure that my water to this faucet is shut off. I've got to find my shut off valve and then I can close it and start disconnecting this, or go interior and pull that valve out somehow. Normal connection for these are a pipe thread, but I've also seen where they have PEX connections. And I don't want to just start unscrewing this thing and break off something inside the wall. Probably relatively safe to just unscrew it, but again, I want to see how this thing's connected, and then I'm going to put an access panel in, so if I ever want to change this out in the future, it'll be a lot easier. So one of the first things I want to do is measure the location of this faucet in reference to something, so that I can locate it on the inside of the house. In my case, I have a window right here, and I can take all my measurements off this, translate that inside the house, and then it'll give me an idea of where this comes in through the wall. So there's about 3 dimensions I'm going to take to locate this inside my house. The first is going to be from the faucet to this window, which is about 21 inches. So the other dimension I'm going to take is from the faucet to the concrete foundation here, which is about 20 inches. So the other dimension I'm going to take is the length of this stem here, because they make these faucets in different lengths. So here's the window on the inside, and my faucet's located around this area here. So when I measured over, I was for sure that the faucet went through this wall here, which on the other side is the bathroom. Here's the bathroom. This is the wall that splits the bedroom from the bathroom, and the faucet is down in this corner. Obviously, it looks like they pulled the plumbing off of this toilet here. So I decided to put an access hole here so I could see how the faucet was connected. Also, an access panel in this location will be kind of hidden from the toilet. I've already got a 2-inch hole cut, but before I did this, I marked that location going 20 inches up and about 4 inches over from this wall, because I knew the faucet ended pretty close to where this corner is or this wall is. So I cut this hole just to make sure I was in the right location. And as you can see, here's where the faucet attaches, so I cut it in the right spot. So before you start cutting holes, be sure you get a stud finder like you see here. And what you'll do with this is mark your studs out on your wall. These are 16 inches apart. The next stud would be here in the corner. And then that way when you cut for your hole down here, you know what's behind the wall. So the cool thing about this stud finder is it has a metal function here. So I use this to locate and verify the pipe before I cut behind the wall, so that I knew that I was in the right location. So there's a number of ways you can cut a hole in your drywall. I decided to use a hole saw. Now if you use a hole saw, be sure that you remove the center drill bit here. This is used to help keep your hole aligned when you're cutting, but in my case, I don't want to use this because this could potentially puncture the pipe or anything that might be behind that drywall. So when you start cutting without the drill bit, this is going to want to walk around on you. Be sure that you're using enough forward force to kind of keep it against the wall and cutting in the same location. Now when it starts to cut a groove, you can lessen the pressure. That way you don't forcefully go through and puncture anything on the backside. So just go slow when you're cutting drywall. So this is access panel I got it from Home Depot, and it's a 6x9 opening. So you see I've already got this marked out. I'm gonna go ahead and cut my hole, and then that way I can get a better look. And There it is. Okay, after you turn your water off, you're gonna have to unscrew the faucet from the outside. I had my wife put a crescent wrench on right here, and then that way when I loosen it from the outside, I don't twist anything here on the inside. So with the hold of the crescent wrench, I'm gonna go ahead and loosen this from the outside. Now before I was able to get this faucet out, I had to go in and chip away a lot of this grout in this area and then this area and then some back in here, and then that way I could pull it out. So this is my new outdoor faucet. It's a 12-inch faucet. On my old one, they added a nipple to go from the 1/2-inch inside thread to connect to the elbow wall mount. As you can see, it makes up the length that I was missing with the new faucet. Add your pipe tape and go ahead and tighten. Put your tape on your threads and now you're ready to install on the wall. Here is the new faucet. I'm gonna go ahead and start my threads into my 90 here. So the good thing about this valve is right here it's marked top, so that when you tighten this, you know where to stop so that the outside faucet is in the right orientation. Alright guys, that's it. So go ahead and make sure your outdoor faucet is in the off position and let's go turn on the water. So I put some silicone on the access panel, set it in the wall, and I'm gonna let this cure for 24 hours. So I'm finished on the inside, let's go ahead and finish the outside. So you can see the faucet has a lot of play, and that's because I had to chisel out so much grout to get out the old faucet. So I want the faucet to be pitched more down, not up, and that way it helps with self-draining. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some wooden dowels right here on the top to take some of that play out and to help keep it in a down position. After I get those inserted, I'm gonna go ahead and seal all this up with silicone. Here is the final product.